We're going to take a Fujifilm camera's video signal and then use this device to send the video and the audio wirelessly up in the air. Where does it go?
It's flying over our heads in a million pieces.
Yeah! Roll intro! Hi everyone, welcome to Pal to Tech. Today we are talking about the Mars 400S Pro Video Wireless Transmission Unit. Hollyland was kind enough to send us a copy of this 400S Pro to test out and review. But just like always, this review is completely unbiased. I'm not being paid by Hollyland to do this review. Additionally, they were not permitted to see this review until now, after you've seen it. The Mars 400S Pro connects right to the top of your camera using the cold shoe mount, just like this, and then it connects to your camera via an HDMI or the SDI port. Once connected, it broadcasts out your camera's video signal to the receiving unit. This then gets plugged into an external monitor, computer, or even video switcher to allow the viewing of the signal. In the box, you get two units, the receiver, which has a blue-colored cold shoe mount, and the transmitter, which has a red-colored cold shoe mount. You also get one DC adapter and an extra antenna. Both the transmitter and the receiver each weigh 206 grams. They both allow for an HDMI connector as well as an SDI. There are two antennas located at the top of each unit, and they can be moved around just like the ones you would find on a standard home router. Each unit has a 1/4 inch 20 tripod thread on the base so that it can be attached directly to the top of your camera. Because the unit has been orientated in the horizontal position, it is a perfect balance for an XT3 and a heavy like this. You can put this on here, and with the battery and the weight of this, it kind of counterbalances the weight of the lens and feels good. The unit has very simple controls and large, readable menus. There's also a dedicated power on and off button on the back. Both the transmitter and the receiver units have built-in fans to keep them cool. Now, while I found them to be quiet and they never presented an audio problem for me when I was using a mic near it, you do have the option of simply switching off the fan and going completely silent on the unit. This is great if you do notice that your camera's mic is picking up the fan noise. There are three ways to power this unit. The first is a Sony NP-F mount battery. Standard, goes right on it, just like that. The second way is to use the included DC wall adapter. But here's the thing, you only get one. And last I checked, there are two units to power. So if you go that route, you're gonna have to purchase a separate DC power adapter. It's about 30 bucks or so. Or three, you can power it using the USB port on the back. Most of the time, I used a Sony NP-F 750 battery, and I got anywhere between 5 to 6 hours on a single battery charge. Now, as soon as you turn both units on, they both search for a clear 5 gigahertz signal. The Mars 400S Pro can handle a 1080p signal up to 60 frames per second. These units automatically detect the resolution of your video. So you don't have to configure anything. If you change, say, your resolution or your frame rate on the back here, these units will automatically sense that. You don't have to go and configure them. Being able to view the signal via a smartphone or a tablet is one of the greatest features of this unit because it allows you to basically take your smartphone device and use that to monitor your video. The app has many built-in features that you'd often find in higher-end display monitors, such as zebras, monocolor, false colors, etc. Check this out. I've got the camera running in HD 1080. It is using the wireless broadcaster to both of these devices at the same time. You know, this could be the producer and this could be the executive producers, and they're on set walking around looking at what's going on. You can even load in a Fujifilm LUT and display on your smartphone the F-log signal coming from your Fujifilm camera, say with the Eternal LUT applied. There's even the ability to hit record and get a 1080p 24 frames per second recording of the live transmission of the camera that you can then play back later on. And that also records audio from the camera as well. Hollyland claims that you get 0.08 second latency. Now, what is latency? Well, basically that's the time it takes the signal to get from your camera, right? It's coming out of here into your receiver and you see it on the monitor. And it's basically how much in sync that the two signals are. Now, latency is very difficult to test because performance can be influenced by everything from the material in the walls, right? To the HDMI cables and so forth. But what the heck, let's test it right now. It's 25 feet. So I guess if I pull this all the way out, right? So that's 25 feet times 4, that would be 100 times 4, 7. So welcome to our field test today. We have this long deserted road behind us here, and my assistant is going to take an XT3 camera with a 400S Pro mounted to it as far as he can get from this receiving unit, and we're gonna see at what point the signal gets lost. Are you ready, sir?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. Off he goes to 600, about 500 feet away now. He's zooming in on me. I don't know if you can see it, I'm transmitting on channel 6, and what's so great about this unit is when you turn both of them on, they look for each other, they link up immediately with a minimum of hassle. It's wonderful, really nice. Now this is rated for 400 feet, but it just froze at about 600 feet. You see that right there? Still, I am really impressed. Now for our next test, let's try it through a wall. I'm gonna bring the camera with the transmitter on top of it, take the camera into the next room with the Parrot.
Hi there.
So now I'm going to plug an external monitor into the receiving unit using a standard HDMI cable. Turn that on. This goes into here. And notice I've done nothing with the menu settings in this at all. All I did was turn these two units on. That's it. It's so simple to use. Check it out. I love my job. I gotta go turn the Parrot off. Another great use for this would be to pull focus at a distance from the camera. So for example, let's say your Fujifilm camera is mounted to a rig, right? And normally you're using this to focus. Well, you can come up with some kind of a wireless focus solution, right? So you'll have like a focus thing and you'll have it with this over here and you could pull focus but not have to be right next to the camera rig. You could also use this on a gimbal to allow a monitor to be used without cords, and that can even be detached and used by someone else remotely. Okay, I've got this camera aimed at the computer screen to OBS streaming software. What I'm gonna do now is connect my ATEM Mini, right, to the receiving unit of the Mars 400S Pro. Boom, just like that. Oh, have a look, whoa, have a look at this. Yes, I am now live streaming. I'm live streaming straight from the camera, and I can take this away. I can walk around the studio. Hi guys, how you doing? I can do whatever I want, right? I mean, this is awesome. And finally, you can just plug it directly into your computer via USB-C to RJ45 cable and live stream directly from the unit. I chose not to test that out for this video, as that's more of a special use case. So there are a few issues I want to talk to you about with the Mars 400S Pro, namely 3 of them. The first, the unit comes with one AC power cord included in the box. It would have been nice to have one for both the transmitter and the receiver. I think adding a few extra bucks to the cost would be well worth it to be able to have power to both of these units without having to worry about ordering batteries or to somehow get a USB solution together. The second thing is the video signal. It would be nice for the unit to offer the ability to switch between 2.5 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz signal, because in some shooting situations where, let's say you're going right through a wall, you might want the 2.5 gigahertz signal. Number 3, and I actually think this is the most serious one, Hollyland, I hope you're listening. Being able to record directly on the device, whatever the camera's seeing, right? Anybody with a device can just tap record and get the captured video and the captured audio from the scene. While that's really cool, I think that also opens up a messy can of worms from a security perspective. There should be a way to allow the operator of the transmitting unit to be able to disable, right, all of the other receiving units from being able to record directly to their devices. At the very least, if you are going to be using this for client videos, please make sure that you change your Wi-Fi password from the default 1234567 to something much more secure. All told, I think this is an absolutely wonderful unit. It's got great build quality, and I love the fact that you just turn it on and it works. Keep in mind that if you're shooting with your Fujifilm camera, you're going to need to set your record out to FHD, otherwise it won't acquire the signal. I'm going to give the Mars 400S Pro an A. I had originally given this product an A-. However, because it has the same awesome design as something that Batman would wear, right, on his belt, it got bumped up to an A. Well, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, be sure to give it the like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video again very soon. Take care. And I still have perfect signal, completely uninterrupted. Cameron, come back.